Well, let me try to start what I'm about to speak there. I had seminar several days before on Wednesday, seminar of Science and Religion Dialogue Interdisciplinary Group. And I was telling about the subject. The subject is titled Information Against Evil, the Ukrainian War Context. And besides information, I have in brackets artificial intelligence. So I was talking about these two things, information, artificial intelligence, and designated it in these words, against evil. Because we are in a religious group, we may take some generalizations. We could simply speak about war and war crimes and war events and so on, and what goes on this context. But we are designating it in general word evil. Because we are such a group where things defining somewhat not in the way that ordinary media people in discussions, conferences used to speak. We are speaking some in directional, so in interdisciplinary line somewhat. Yeah. And I made yesterday one remark, but I want today do another remark. I was speaking, let me show what was about what I am. I was speaking about discussions about war in Ukraine with artificial intelligence. And I was speaking, I had in mind my conversations with LLMs, and I have documented these conversations in about 30 articles. These conversations was with different AI platforms like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, Grok, and maybe some else too, not all. But I started these conversations in the September month next year, and now we may calculate it. I have the more than 8 months already have passed in this time, and I had these conversations and documented, and we tried to analyze. I tried to analyze and to report in these seminars, which are already several been, and what I am to say, yes, but I was speaking about these matters and things and issues, but I forgot to make one great stress, which I have already mentioned before, but which should be mentioned here and made still more greater stress. On what subject? And this is, I would like to see. I have many of these conversations. They are documented as Word documents, PDF files, and they are in internet accessible for people who would be interested in these matters to read and analyze and speak about. But the problem is people are not reading such things because people are engaged in their own things around them. Even if we would like to speak about the context of this war, and people are interested in what goes on in Ukraine and questions, and they are discussing these things, and they are giving their own meanings and analyzing and reading analysis of other people and try to find different points of view, and this goes on in bloggers, media are full of bloggers who are speaking about these things. So information is very, very large amounts of information that is running and flowing and going on around this, what we call Ukrainian war context. This all goes on. This all takes place. This all is all waters full of this these trying to understand and analyzing and do whatever about this, what possible about this information, and artificial intelligence is engaged in all this, and this it helps to analyze and all is going on very, 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 very in a streams of informations are flowing, and we are in these rivers of information, and this is war today, and war is in the Ukraine, in trenches where Russian and Ukraine soldiers are struggling, fighting, but we are striking too, we are fighting too, we are using informational tools, and now in this river of information, I jump in with my 30 articles. I want to people that they could be against reading my articles. Of course, they are don't want to do this. They are fit with this type of information. All days are now going in the same way. From morning till evening, we hear this information, and one more little piece of information. Who cares about it? Who needs this? Nobody. This is not so. People might say, "What is so important? What is so important in these messages? If you want to emerge in this river of information, what is your purpose? What about what you are? What is your purpose? What is your aims? What you want to get? Do you want to get some fame, or you want to get money, or you want to be some spy or secret information, or what else, or play some game with someone on this informational field?" No. Of course, such questions, and now what to do? And my remark is very simple. If we have this a very great flow of information, streams of information, rivers of information, who might read this all? And the question, the answers is very, very simple. It is artificial intelligence that can read this flow of information. Only artificial intelligence can read, and I am using this tool. I am already using when I receive this, when I prepare these 30 articles and posted them in internet in the different resources, different platforms. They are accessible, but first of all, I want to be them accessible for AI tools, um, and I am using these platforms, AI platforms. Mostly I use ChatGPT, but I try to use Grok 3, DeepSeek, Gemini, and some my colleagues, like my colleague from South Africa University, Burgert Senecal, he uses other. I don't even know the names of these AI tools, LLMs. He is much. He is more professional in these areas, and I try to learn from him somewhat in some way, but. But yeah, I use these platforms and tools and LLMs to analyze my own what I have got received, what results in these conversations, because in these conversations I have touched many points, many. I have more than 1,000 pages in text form, these conversations. Which you may find. I may show here what. Yeah, look here. What I have this presentation, and in the end of presentation, I have this. Look here. This all. This about these 30 articles are. And I tried to count pages, more than 1,000 pages there. But yeah, and these texts again, but these texts I give to for these tools, AI tools, to analyze them. And when I did this, they return this type of analysis, and then I trying to them to published in this way. In several articles I already did. I already behaved in this way. And look here, where such I used to use very simple a simple methodological approach. I simply say, give 10 arguments for such and such point. And now AI, who is trained by my articles in my own environment, he gives responses. And here are these responses. For example, information wages war against evil. This was, I gave this presentation, this presentation, which I use here for him to demonstrate what I am doing. And ChatGPT, analyzed and gave 10 responses, 10 arguments in favor of this one point. How information wages war against evil. Yeah, this is maybe this is very, very general. So approach to information against evil. This is on very high level, such a question, philosophical, ethical, and how else to name this issue, which what is touched by such a question. Information against evil. Yeah. But here you see Russia, Guinness, and dismantling Russia. We are talk. Why is why GPT is? I ask him simple question. How information wages about evil? And when I thought, why is he speaking about Russia? Agreement, global support for Ukraine. Where from he took all this? But then, of course, the situation very simple. I gave him some material, these conversations and this question now questioned with this question which is now questioned, it is on in this context of the information which I gave ChatGPT, and now he's speaking information of warfare as a battlefield, and then some detailization, small detailization of this point, real-time witness and historical memory, demolition of propaganda narratives, of course, about Russian propaganda. We are speaking exposure of secret deals. Secret deals? Which secret deals? This is about the US and Russia. We are now speaking about these political talks between US and Russia. We are very angry about to hear that US so behaved badly against Ukraine, and they are speaking more with Russia than with Ukraine. And this makes us very, very, very be angry against Russia and so their political bosses and Trump particularly. But now here is strategic communication to mobilize the posits. Here more Russia delenda. Russia delenda, these are these words which we know from history in Latin. Russia delenda is in Carthago. Who was the man who said these words? It was, I now don't remember who was this. Well, it doesn't matter who was it. But Romans said this against Carthago. They were, Carthago was attacking Rome, and Rome was even destroyed by Carthago. We know these historical events very well, and Russia delenda. But they have said they were saying Carthago delenda. It's not Russia. Russia delenda is we are now nowadays we speak about Russia delenda. We are repeating these words, but when we speak these words, we should be careful what sense to put in these words, and so we must stress the main points about which to speak when we speak of these words. Lucia Delenda is, first of all, this should be understood as to Russia should be demilitarization. Dismantling Russia's imperial state structure, as you see how these words are of ChatGPT. These are not my words. I even can't say my hard. I may read, but to build such complicated part of sentence. I am joking a little, but this is not so easy for me to build such a dismantling Russia's imperialist state structure. What could it mean? But you see, ChatGPT is building such sentences, and and arguments, and he is well, yeah, he is, yes, he's successful very in this. He's because he is trained. I am trained. Of course, he is trained before all this. Before I came in contact with me, he is trained by this deep learning system. But now I am teaching him. I am in this environment. Yeah, teaching it. I give my knowledge, my information, what I require from media and from what else sources of information and so on. And now, yeah. Lucia, so we are explaining here practice design and preparing for Russian collapse. Oh, very good point. This is not my argument. This is argument. I asked 10 arguments, and now ChatGPT is suggesting me predicting and preparing for Russia collapse. Imagine for Trump to say such words. He is not so educated to say these words. But ChatGPT can say because he's trained. He is trained sufficiently to apply these words to such arguments expressed and yeah, and global alert and advocacy. Oh, yeah, I don't even understand. What does it mean, global alert and advocacy? AI-enhanced platforms can sound global alarms quickly when Russian or Russian-aligned threat emerge, cyber attacks, political blackmail, nuclear risk, providing early warning. Oh, you see, providing early warning. These very interesting words, providing even not NATO generals are not ready for such words, but ChatGPT is speaking about providing early warning against this blackmail, nuclear blackmail, and so very good things we can receive, and how it became so clever. Remember how we started. We had a very, very big informational river where nobody wanted to merge into it because people are exhausted, too exhausted to try to understand something in this river information. But ChatGPT, we may force it to do, and he is doing. Only question is for us to build requests. We are requested to build these requests for artificial intelligence to get these very clever responses, these analyses, these sets of these arguments, 10 arguments in each question, how I am now trying to do. And look, all is very nice and beautiful, and we may enjoy the fruits of this work. We may take, but in place to read 30 articles, these points we may easily read. It is not hard. It doesn't take much time to read these such 10 arguments. No, it is we may enjoy the fruits this work, but this enormous work is done by artificial intelligence. It read these more than 1,000 pages, and in response for our sufficiently sufficiently clever, organized question request, we are preparing this prompt. This is prompting. We are this. We forced ChatGPT to give answer. And now look, oh, beautiful now. But well, yeah, here is about Russia. The Landes, I I asked to give 10 arguments in favor how to understand this correctly, understand this Russia the Landes correctly interpreted so that it would be acceptable. Because you see, it is not so simple with this Russia the Landes. When I give these words for such a platform, for such a LLM, DeepSeek, China DeepSeek, then China DeepSeek does not want such texts where this appeared, Russia the Landes, and they say, they return, may it violent our terms for our community. Oh, they get upwards, they fall down on their backs, hearing such words, Russia the Landes. They can't, they don't want to hear about such because it is, this is how to say, this violence terms of our communication. We are so aesthetically smart and so beautiful. Our ears don't want to hear such terrible words, Russia the Landes. Oh, we can't bear this. It is not for us. We are not from your part of earth. We are quite other people. Yeah, but we may but in the same time they see that this war is going on, that Russia is murdering people, that they are bombing cities, and they are murderers and stealers and terrorists and what and torturing peoples, and they are doing incredible crimes, and how to turn this off, how to struggle against. And this Russia the Landes, this is general formula that should be applied in this situation. This must be stopped. In which way? Russia the Landes, simple question, and we must understand how to this. And ChatGPT returns very good 10 arguments, very good 10 arguments. And now very necessary step to clarify for us how to struggle against no, I'm sorry. See here about U.S. must be forced to stop supporting Russia through hidden agreements. Yeah, but this is very important question, because we see how Trump's government in US is behaving in speaking with Russia and not speaking so much as necessary with Ukraine, and all this nonsense. But ChatGPT understands these things very good. I am asking 10 arguments how to understand the situation around that. U.S. trying to make these hidden agreements with Russia, and how to try to force to stop supporting Russia through these hidden arguments. And ChatGPT knows very good, because he has analyzed my 30 articles, and very clear recommendation here I'm not going to particularly go into these points, but you may read. I had tried to several times, and these responses are different. And you may try this in your platforms, the same question, and you would receive your answers with your machines, not particularly this must be ChatGPT. You may try your other, like, for example, Gemini. I tried to speak today with Gemini. I was much satisfied with this, how it answered me. Very beautiful trained today. Today, these machines get more and more trained in these questions about Ukraine. Someday might be that these efforts should turn into not necessarily something because they already are trained sufficient, but nevertheless, we see Western governments, we see U.S. government, and we see, boy, all what goes on in China and we might ask why tools, why artificial intelligence may be so easily trained to answer so deeply and so good and so excellent and understand the situation and be in war with this evil, with this Russia terrorism, and but governments are still behaving and being stupid and being lazy and being undecisive and being sleeping and being whatever else we could say in this yeah, and here in particular is this presentation. One more questioning was about, can AI become one who wins a battle against evil? This in this way formulate the question, and 10 arguments I asked, and ChatGPT answers very beautiful, very beautiful. And in similar ways, I have asked already many times, and we receive very nice answers. So we are training. So we are training machines, but of course we train only in our environment. To go over to these higher levels to teach to reach this level where machines are taught by these personnel who are training actually these machines. We are very far, and I am very far. I am not any contact with this, and I'm doing for myself and for auditory and the people who are interested in. So what we come to after this my speech? Yeah, the point was that we are analyzing very large amounts of information. That this large information is not aimed to read for people. People can't read these 1,000 pages. We may force people to read some novels like Tolstoy, War and Peace. Is about the same amount, but we can't force to read such conversations with with different LLMs, and so what? Yeah, AI machines are not helping because we can generate many such conversations and gathers some resources and now we may give this over for the same machines, LLMs, to read them and give such short accounts about what they have read. To give analysis, in which form we request them, they can give analysis. I am asking to give um, uh, like me to give 10 arguments. But of course, this is one simplest way. We may ask about what is here about politics against China, what is against Israel, what is against questions Europe's role in this war. You may always ask because I have touched what role of AI was in this directing in military actions and how it may be used in military actions. These all questions I have spoken with, and then. What else? I have asked about how it is. I am speaking with ChatGPT about as being a Ukraine patriot, but in case I were Russia patriot, Putinist, which was responses from ChatGPT side, and we analyzed this question. He gave how informational systems, how they are trained against this propaganda. And of course, all this is not so simple. Here are so many complicated points, but we know that more or less AI is on side of Ukraine, on side of the democratic world, on side of on this against Russia terrorists. So Russia, of course, they may using many money to try to build their own something like informational systems to spoil war with their information, their propaganda. But their propaganda is very easy to be destroyed because they lack logic. And you see, I have learned from these systems one thing. They are not very easy to be taught about moral aspects, ethic, because they are to imitate the emotions. About a machine can't be emotional. A machine can't be moral, responsible. Not there can't be applied some ethical arguments or something what we use between humans. But machines use one thing, it is logic. And logic is, a machine can't work against logic. It is built so that it can't work against logic. But propaganda is built against logic. And so it is this battle between artificial intelligence and propaganda is very easy. It is war between logic and between non-logic. And so situation becomes very strange. You see, the evil becomes some other name, and this is unlogical something. What how to some person or something not logical, something not humanoid or machine like, something that non-logical propaganda. It may be called simply propaganda, and so evil becomes name of propaganda in this non-logical appearance, and so we may hope that in the end, I must say, we may hope that AI may be the one who wins the battle against evil, against propaganda. Why? Because just because this because logic is we have yeah, we have logic on our side. Well, for this time, I think that this should be enough. I must now end. Thank you for